Hi guys, a brief quick introduction about myself. My name is Aweda Aziz Adebayo, a computational mathematics researcher, as well as a cybersecurity analyst, data scientist, machine learning engineer, and also a tech educator. I'm passionate about using technology to solve real world problems through artificial intelligence, data science, software development, and also cybersecurity. As the founder of D-HAMY Tech Empire Limited, my mission, my intention is to empower students and professionals and all aspiring tech enthusiasts with practical industrial relevant skills and open doors to rewarding careers in the global and digital economy. And also, I believe that quality tech education should be accessible. You shouldn't have restrictions, be it financially or some other things. We should focus on solving real life challenges in these my own particular tech industries. On this page, I'll be sharing some valuable tutorial programming, which I've narrowed it down to only Python for today, or let me say for this training. Subsequently, I might decide to still teach AI, machine learning, and some other things, cybersecurity awareness in the nearest future. So once again, try to follow this page, subscribe, like, drop your comment. Your comments are welcome, be it positive or negative. I'm also open to learning. If you find some blogs or some things that are not correct, just feel free to either reach out to me or drop it in the comment section. You are all welcome. And do not forget to reshare, introduce your friends, let them be aware of this particular wonderful training for 30 days. It's a promise that be it an intermediate or beginner, you are going to get one or two things in this tutorial. So today we are going to do a brief introduction to this program. I'm going to take us through the first thing, the first stage you are to do. The what's it called, the editors have posted it earlier for today that if you try to get editors ready, be it your Jupyter notebook or your VS Code or any editors you are conversant, you are comfortable with, is fine. The only thing there is just understand how to navigate through any of the editors you have chosen. But for me, in this course, I'll be using a Jupyter notebook. Um, Let me quickly open it. So if you open your Jupyter notebook, if you'll be using your Jupyter notebook, it uses browser as your preferred browser. Let me say your default browser automatically. So if you don't know how to get it installed, I think I've dropped the comments, I've dropped the instructions already on my page. So just try to follow it or go through online. Or if you even want me to still take it through, I'll still do that. Just drop your comments in the comment section so that I can quickly get it. So throughout this training, I'll be creating a folder especially for this training, which I prefer it to be on the desktop. So that means if you are using Python notebook as I'm using it, once you launch it, it's going to open this interface for you, and then you click on desktop. You have a lot of, depends on your own desktop, you have a lot of icons there. So do not disturb yourself, just come down here where you have new and look for folder, new folder. So I'll be creating new folder and I'm going to name it 30 days Python challenge. Okay, that is for my own hand here. I prefer to name it 30 days Python challenge. So I'm going to just click enter on my keyboard, then I have it there. Then, which means instead of this folder I just created is where I'm going to be writing all my code, all my assignments, all my quizzes, all my challenges throughout this thread. So I'm going to open it by double clicking or anyhow you prefer to open it. Then I'll go back to new again and I click on notebook this time around. Or you might have Canon or some other things. Just look for the one that has to do with either notebook or something related to Python. So here you are no longer creating folder again. You have so many options there. You are not going to create or click on folder any longer. What you are going to click on now is notebook or you have Python or whatever. So at my hand there, I have what is called notebook. So I'll be clicking on notebook and it's going to open another tab for me entirely where I can write my code. So which means once I get there, I can start to write my code successfully without any challenge or any issue. And once you are done, let's assume that after some minutes you are done writing your practice code or whatever, you don't just click or you don't just close this particular tab anyhow. All you need to do first is to come to kernel and shut it down. Excuse me. Make sure you shut it down. Shut it down. So here, I'll shut down kernel. Then I'll close it. I'll close the second one. And I'll go and close my terminal as well. Or even terminal as well. But so before you leave this page, make sure you always shut down the kernel. So we are good. So if you have this interface, that means we are good to go. Once we get to this interface, that means we are good to go. So you can quickly test it. Since I'm a mathematician, so I always use 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2, or 2 plus whatever to run my to test my interface. So wow, I got 4. That means I'm ready to start writing Python code. My system is ready to start Python code. So I also mentioned that let's assume you don't have laptops, then you can also use your phone, be it Android or your iOS. You have some Python editors you can download through the Play Store or through the iOS platform. So you can quickly go back to my page and see the instructions which I've posted there. It's going to guide you. So a very quick one for today is not going to be a very long thing. Um, let me see here. One thing we should all know is this. I will try to simplify it, put it in my own best understanding so that we can all be on the same page or interface. So this is day one of this journey. We have 30 days. Fine. So the first thing you should know or you should understand is what is Python? What is Python? And I would say um, even from the word itself, Python, in the family of snake, let me borrow that word. In the family of snake, Python is very large. It's very large. Let me put it that way. If not the most biggest or largest among the family of snake, but I think is the largest. So even from the word largest, from the word Python, I think they borrowed it. They borrowed it to quickly name it Python just because they believe that Python does so many amazing things. Sincerely speaking, I've never seen what you can apply Python to do on Earth as of today. So Python is applicable. Is you can apply it to any field, any field of your choice. Yes, Python is awesome. You can use it to do anything. I won't want to mention or compare some other programming language that they are limited. But Python, anything that comes to your mind, just have the belief that Python can be applied to solve it. So just have that in mind. So what is Python? What is Python? So Python is a powerful programming language. When you say something is powerful, it means it's powerful, which is used to build software, automate tasks, analyze data, and develop websites. Also, it is used to create AI systems, which means all the AIs we have as of today, Python is behind most, if not all, most of these AIs we have as of today. In fact, I won't want to mention any names. You can do your research. Just do your research. Python can be used to create AI systems and other things. Other things. So first of all, have that in mind. Now, if you are asked, let me say I'm asking you now as a friend or as a colleague that you probably told me that you started learning Python, you've changed your career or you decide to start learning Python. Then I might ask you that what is your intention? Why Python? Why did you have to go to Python? Why don't you go to other programming language? You should be able to tell them some beautiful things. So if they ask you why Python, it's different from what is Python. You can tell them definition of what you have there. Then you can also come to this definition and still tell people that the reason why you are using Python, although I'm still going to share some slides with you that you quickly see what you can say about if people or if anybody asks you why Python, then you can quickly give them some beautiful response from there. So Python is used to build software, not only software, automate tasks. What do you mean by automate tasks? The hackers, in fact, this is what they use mostly. I'm also an ethical hacker, so I write scripts to automate tasks. If a situation whereby you want to install, maybe you want to install an application on 100 systems, you don't need to be working from one system to another. You can write a Python script to install that for you in fact, without stress. You just write this script on your system and just give it instruction from your system through the network, and you are good to go. That is hacking. So probably by the time we get to hacking class, I might maybe come out and explain more on that. So when we say Python is used to automate tasks, so just let your brain quickly go to that angle that to give system, let me say to give applications instructions without you being there, without you being available. Just give your, in fact, you can even give it time that, okay, Python, once it's so time, do this, do that. Then immediately, once that time is ready, so the next thing is Python starts its work. You can also do that with Bash, something like that. So let me quickly show us um, the one beautiful thing about Python so that you can at least be able to say or defend yourself in whatever anybody asks you. So I have this slide that I do use also. Let me just quickly show us. I might not show us everything here, but let me just quickly show us. So let me try to zoom it. Introduction to Python. So this is about me if you want to know about me. So yes, what is Python? Python is a programming language, blah blah blah, and it was created by somebody like you and I. His name is Guido Van Rossum. It was released in 1991. Doesn't mean Python was created in 1991. Don't misquote it. It stated that it was released in 1991. So it has been in operation in existence before 1991. So take note of that. The usefulness of Python for web development, that's the server side, back end, software development, which we have said, mathematics. When we say mathematics, yes, it can solve mathematics. In fact, any mathematical problem, yes, Python solve it. And not only that, anything related to mathematics, your data science, machine learning, AI, all of them are under mathematics, sincerely speaking. So you don't let anybody deceive you that if you want to study AI data science, you don't need the knowledge of mathematics. My brothers and sisters, you truly need the knowledge of mathematics because data science, machine learning, the backbone, the background of them is mathematics. Then system scripting, just what I just said. System scripting, if you want to explain it out there to your friends, your family, or colleagues, just let them know that this is applicable to cybersecurity, ethical hacking stuff. But you don't just want to put it that way, or let me say, I just try to break it down. So, what can Python do? Python can do a lot of things. Python can do a lot of things. Can be used as a server side, as a back end to create web applications. Python can be used alongside software to create workflows and so many other things. So, but this is not where I'm going to. Yes, why Python? Why Python? So I'm going to stop here for today. Then, make sure you get your system ready for the remaining 29 days. So why Python? Python works on different platforms: Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, and so on and so forth. So let me break it down. Python works on your Windows laptop. In fact, 90% of everybody use their Windows. Or let me say yes, or let me say 90% is too much. 60 to 70% uses Windows system. And under the Windows, we have, I don't want to start from the beginning of Windows, me, Windows 98, and so let me start from Windows 7. Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11 as of today. So all of these Windows are under Windows. All of these OS I've mentioned, they're under Windows. So it depends on you or what you prefer. But I can guarantee that this Windows 11 is working perfectly on most of our systems we use, or yes, we use as of today. So don't be surprised if you see someone using Windows 10, Windows below that's 8 or 7, do not be surprised. But the latest Windows as of today is Windows 11. So that is that. Then the Mac, we have the version of it, I think 17, 18 downward. Yes. Now the Linux also is a distro which has Ubuntu, Kali, Fedora, OpenSUSE, and so many of them. They are under Linux family. Then the Raspberry Pi is a chip, just like a board, which we use in so many other things. In fact, this Raspberry Pi let me say, does magic. If you want to be using Python to perform magic scientifically, Raspberry Pi, just go and learn Raspberry Pi very well. Then you have so many of them. The second one is Python has a simple syntax, just like English. English is very simple. That's why its official is general, is global. So the same thing happens to Python. You can easily learn Python just because it's similar to English. It's very, very similar to English. By the time you start writing Python and compare Python to what program you have been writing before today, you are going to discover that Python is just like normal English. The Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines of just a few lines of code, you are done. Some program languages which I won't be mentioning, if you want to execute just a new word, you write nothing less than several different lines of code. But with in Python, just one line, you are done. So which one will you go for? Can't kill myself. I don't want stress. So Python runs on an interpreter, and you observe that when I click on this Python, it's run on an interpreter. Probably is quickly check whether I have Python installed. Although that one is another extension that I'm supposed to have done before. But if you don't know how to install Python, which I believe you can do that, just quickly do that. That is before you can write Python, you need to install Python. It runs on an interpreter. Python can be treated in a procedural way, an object-oriented way, or a functional way, so on and so forth. So I'll stop here for today, which I believe that you must have maybe prepare your system, if not your system, your phone ready to to start writing your code. So thank you guys, and we'll see maybe probably tomorrow, or we'll meet in the next class. Thank you, and do not forget to drop any question or comment under this video, be it I'll be using Facebook, I'll be using YouTube, and I'll be using these two platforms. So just try to drop your comment. If you have any question, do not hesitate to drop it under the comment section. So thank you. Meet in the next class.